What's up, sports fans? In this video, we're going to be talking through the entire application, otherwise known as EPICK Fantasy Sports. I'm going to be taking you through both game modes of tournament mode and 50-50 mode, explain the basics, and better yet, show you how to win. Now first, let's talk through the basics of EPICK. EPICK is unlike any other fantasy app that you've experienced for many reasons, but the first reason is because it is a strictly peer-to-peer fantasy application. You take a look at your popular apps like PrizePicks, like Underdog, they are all against the house and they operate like a sports book. When you play against a sports book, you're competing for the company's money. Long story short, you're trying to take the money from the sports book by outsmarting them and basically betting on their projections on whether they're going to go over or under a certain projection, right? The way that this app is different, EPICK Fantasy, is because it is 100% peer-to-peer, and instead of taking the sportsbook's money, you're trying to take other peers' money. Now, there's a lot of pros to this format, but the biggest pro is that you are able to scale your bankroll. As a sharp sports bettor, as a casual sports fan, you can play as much or as little as you want on this application. The reason why is because EPICK isn't incentivized to take your money, to outsmart the opponent, right? The user. Instead, EPICK is incentivized to just simply grow. The bigger the community, the more players that play against one another, the more the EPICK grows. So for that reason, we're able to offer a lot of different game modes and keeping it all in-house, all peer-to-peer. And as long as there's peers on this application, you're going to be able to play and you're going to try to take their money, which means technically you can put down as much money as you want every single night. Whether you win or lose, we're never going to limit you. And while that might not appeal to the average user, average users get to be competitive and get to play against one another. Something that we've lost in this industry is the competitiveness of just playing against other users. And the goal here is to offer as many different game modes as we humanly possibly can to further excite our users. And because EPICK isn't against the house, that means we have a little bit more flexibility with what we're allowed for users to do against each other. For instance, if one user decides to go 4 out of 5, but the other users in this contest go 1 out of 5, then that user still wins money, right? They still win that contest because all we care about is scoring more points than other users. We don't care about getting the entire parlay. Whereas on PrizePicks, Underdog, these other sports books, in order to win, you have to get all your picks right, not necessarily on EPICK. So let's actually walk through the basic game modes that we have today. 50-50 mode is very straightforward. What you're going to first do in 50-50 mode by toggling here on the very top of the screen over the 50-50 mode, also indicated in the entire blue layout, you get to select any sport that you want. Let's go ahead and start out with NBA, since NBA has the widest offerings of player props and other players to put into your lineup. What we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and select random players just to go through the navigation of how this all works. And as you can see here, I took Pippen under 8.5 points, just select some random other players, Luke Kennard, over, and whoever I selected here. And it came out to a 3-pick play because I selected 3 different players to put into my lineup. Now, if I were to confirm my picks here, I'm then brought to a confirmation screen where I can then lock in my picks, and then I'm brought to the contest lobby. And what the contest lobby allows me to do is it allows me to select different contests where I'm able to compete against other users with a 3-man lineup, right? So for instance, if I wanted to enter $5 in, this is a $5 entry because we are pre-production here. We're not going to see any players in the lobby, but you guys would see how many players are in the lobby, what my potential payout is, my entry fee, and of course, the type of contest. In this exact example, it's going to be 50-50. So as you can see here, if I were to toggle over to $25, I would be then entered into a $25 contest. Same thing with 100. Now, the whole reason here is why there are 3 different selectors for the amount of money you're allowed to enter is because it doesn't make sense for a $1 user, if we give them the ability to enter $1, to then compete against another user who entered $5, right? So we level the playing field and we allow $5 users to play against other $5 users, $25 users to play against other $25 users, and 100. You guys get the point. Now, the way 50-50 works is it caters to a user who wants to win more, right? And slowly build their bankroll if they're allowed to do that, if they're able to do that, right? This caters to the audience who just wants to sit back, finds a couple edges, and wants to enjoy the games, right here. Because the payout always stays the same no matter what. As long as you're you're beating 50% of the field, you're winning 1.8x your money. So let's just hypothetically say, in this exact example, the top 5 users go 2 of 3, while the last 5 users go 1 of 3. That means every single user that went 2 of 3 would win 1.8x their money. In this exact example, this user would turn $5 into a $9 win. And same thing for the $25, they would turn $25 if they placed in the top 50%, they would turn it into $45. $100 user would turn it into $180. No matter how well your fantasy lineup performs in this mode, 50-50 mode, or no matter how bad your fantasy team performs, all you have to do is beat 50% of your contest and you win money. 1.8x every single time, designed to be super simple and to be easy to win. So that's it. That's all you have to do. And then of course, you join contests. I have $0 in my account, so I can't show you actually entering a contest, but that's the next part and the final part. Then you'll be able to view that entry in the upcoming tab here. It will show all your upcoming tabs, and there you can actually edit your picks. So let's say, for instance, you lock in your lineup and you decided that, hey, maybe I actually don't like one player, I want to switch them out. You can do that through the edit picks on your card. So you'll be able to replace them with any other player within that specific sport, and you'll always be competing against other users who selected the same amount of fantasy players and the exact same sport and same entry fee. So that's exactly how you play. All right, so now let's go over to tournament mode. And this mode is designed for users who want to chase that big win, right? Your 6-leg parlay players. So let's actually go through an exact example and go through a 6-leg lineup. Let's go and just select 6 random players, and I'll show you the potential payouts that you could get. Because like 50-50, it's going to look and feel the same up to the payout screen. So let's select 6 players here in tournament mode. And again, the only thing you have to do to get over to tournament mode is toggle over from 50-50 to tournament, and then lock in pick. And then what you're going to notice here is that the payouts are a lot more rewarding, right? So we have a $5 entry. Your potential winnings could be $270, which is 54x your entry fee, right? And the way to win here is to simply get first place out of the 60 players, right? But you're 54xing your entry fee. So very much more competitive. And I already know we're going to get the question, what if I tie the first place? What if there's 2 users who go 6 of 6 and the entire field goes 5 of 6 or 0 of 6, right? What happens then? So in that exact scenario, all you would do is split between those 2 users. So if you both win, then you'd both split the pot, which would be 27x your entry fee, right? So as you can see here, if you're a heavy hitter and you put in $100, you have the potential to walk away at $5,400 just from getting first place in the contest. So anyway, very straightforward, very simple, 50-50 designed for the beginner users who want to just load up and they want to just win, right? And it's really up to you. If you don't want to play 6 picks, if you want to play 3, well, you can do that. You can get rid of your picks here. And let's show you the payouts here. For a 3-man pick, we still give you upside in tournament mode, right? If there's 3 players and you're the only user to go 3 of 3, well, then you'll 9x your money, which is a lot better than other payouts on other fantasy apps. Of course, that is also considering that there's not a tie. But if there's 2 users who tie, well, you get 4.5x, right? All you have to do is beat your users, or beat the other people in your contest. So that's how Epic works. It's meant to be fun. These aren't the only modes that we'll be releasing, right? We're going to have so many more. So we're going to have limited time modes. We want to gamify this app, and that's exactly how you play. Nothing more to show you guys here. If you want to deposit, you head over to the top of the screen here. We have instant bank transfers, right? So all you have to do is link up your bank account and you'll be able to have that saved on the application. So whenever you want to make deposits, instant, right? So very good way to get money down quick. And same thing for withdrawals. So you can go ahead and withdraw through the instant bank transfer side of things. And yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of our future epic content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day.